Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, Heroes 2.0 releases. We've got the deets. Ian Hazzikostas to talk 7.2 this week, and Overwatch gots the maps and so much more as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News. Everybody, and welcome to the show from the Battlenet News broadcast bunker in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is April 25th, 2017, and it's now 10:15 in the p.m. Central Time. Thanks so much for joining us from all around the Blizzard universe. And hello, my name is Pat Crane. I am the host of this show, and the players are here. First, we'll start with our returning champion. He's in a field of lavender. It's Dairies.
I know it smells amazing here. It really does. It's much better than nerd sweat and farts like usual. So.
Right, and for those guys that are listening to the audio, make sure to check out the video because there are things that you need to see, including our next guy from Line of Sight Gaming. We have Tattva. Hello, Tat.
Baby version of Tattva,
Baby-faced
apparently.
Tattva. Shaved his beard. First time in how many years?
I don't know, maybe like 8.
Wow.
Whoa. It's been a while.
A long time.
Like a long
time.
while.
I don't think I could get used to that. I'm just saying, I'm sure I will, but right now it's difficult. I only know you with the beard. And speaking of how about we go to a guy who retains his beard, and it's his birthday. It's Gizmo. Happy birthday, Giz.
Oh, thank you so much. Glad to be here. I just want to say, Dairies was on the show last week, and I was so sad that I couldn't be here with them. But I'm glad we were able to lock down such a prestigious guest to make another appearance on the show. So it's good to be able to finally do a show with you.
I'm glad my first show back was not you and Shark. For a long time,
man.
That's all it was.
That's hilarious. And Giz, I know that we're going to be talking to you extensively tonight because we want to talk Heroes of the Storm 2.0, and you do the Lords of the Storm podcast and all that kind of good stuff, and we want to make sure that we talk to you about all the haps that's going on, because I know that I have questions about it.
Okay.
I have questions.
I'm here to answer.
All right. But first, let's go around the room and see what's going on. Dairies, what are you now that you're kind of back into things? I mean, you've always been playing Overwatch for the last however long. What's been going on?
Well, like I talked about last week, I was working on the flying stuff in the WoW of Warcraft, and I got that. I finished the flying, I think, the next day. It didn't take very long. I was a lot further along in the Suramar quest line than I thought I was. But I think what I've noticed is I did enough to get the achievement, but it looks like that quest line just keeps going. And I assume there are people still doing the quest line from launch day that haven't slept, and it never ends. I feel bad for those people.
Yeah.
But so I got flying, and I've been doing a little bit of WoW, just doing things like world quests and invasions and stuff like that. I don't really know why I'm doing them, but I log in every once in a while and do them. And I haven't done really anything else. No dungeons, no raiding, nothing.
They're fun. Well, if you ever want to do a dungeon, just let me know.
They are so quick, and there's an add-on. I assume everyone has this at this point, but it's an add-on that when you get to a world quest, it just queues you for a group, and you find 3 or 4 other strangers that are also doing that world quest, and you're done that world quest in like 8 seconds. If you don't use this add-on, you should. I don't know what it's called.
What's it called? Anybody?
I can't think off the top of my head.
Well,
but helpful there, Dairies.
We'll ask the chat room. We'll see if they know.
Yeah, they'll know. But it makes doing all that, even quests that are not really world quests, but maybe Like because there's all those the invasion things, and they have quests after you do the world quest. They have like this quest chain that leads you to a scenario. You can even find people for that. It's pretty awesome for finding all that stuff, and there's always groups out there of people doing it for rares, for everything. It's a really useful add-on. I highly
That
recommend
you
it.
have no idea what the name is, so
I will.
moot.
I'm the worst.
Yep. It's been said
Nope.
before.
It's I don't know.
Oh. Well, why don't you,
World Quest Tracker?
is it?
No.
No.
That can't be it.
Everyone's
World
saying
Quest
World
Group
Quest,
World Quest
Group
Group Finder.
Right. Yes. That's what
Man,
it is.
Darius, I don't blame you on not remembering that name. That is a doozy.
It's hard.
That's a doozy.
That's the
Yeah.
it's the one where you try to find groups for World Quest. What is that one?
I don't know how to. I don't know things. But yeah. So I've been doing that.
Yeah.
I jumped into a game called Hots of the Storm today.
Nice.
Not heard of it before, but
Right.
I assume it's a new thing from Blizzard.
Mhm.
So I played a couple games of that, and then of course, Overwatch. Just kept playing Overwatch and buying lots of loot boxes because I'll be gone the rest of the week, and the event is ending on Tuesday.
So have you been playing a lot of the event? Of the
I did.
Uprising?
I did. I played. I never finished Legendary because that is quite hard. But
Mhm.
I played a good amount of the PVE and just a bunch of arcade, trying to get the 3 loot boxes from winning 9 games and all that. But yeah,
It's fun.
typical Overwatch.
So now, I know that some people in the guild have said that when they play Uprising, especially when they get onto Legendary, there are people that join the game that obviously have not experienced the game before, and they just went, "Oh yeah, Legendary. No, that's cool. Let's just do that one first."
Yes, you cannot do that mode unless you have a group of 4 that is communicating via voice in some way. I would say it's nigh impossible to do it any other way.
Right. Well, and
Yeah.
even just the beginner mode can be. It's not like you're gonna necessarily wipe or anything like that. I mean, you still can, but if you're not used to it, if you're not on the ball for some of that stuff, it could hurt your team a little bit. I'm not saying greatly, but a little bit here and there.
I've played games on normal where we have died because you get one of 4 characters,
Mhm.
and there are a lot of people out there that main one character, so they only ever play Genji or Hanzo. Those
Sure.
are usually the 2 worst. So when they come to this, they're like, well, I don't know how to play Reinhardt, and that's the only hero left. So, they don't know what they're doing. They're way out of position, whatever it is, or Mercy,
That-
and they're only shooting and not healing.
That is one of the things that I found that is the most annoying thing is people being out of position. Like there's the guy that will just go Leroy and just run away and he's gone. I don't know where he is. And if I'm the healer, I'm supposed to be healing him, but then you got the 2 guys back by the thing that we're supposed to be guarding, and it's like, dude, you ran away. I have no idea what you're doing. I'm not gonna follow you. So
Yep, it happens.
it's
Yeah, my very first experience, everything is going great. You go to that last little corner, when there's the 2 Orissas down there, and when the Bastion's perched
right.
up or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, we rounded that corner, super smooth run, and then all of a sudden Reinhardt just charges clear down, and we're just like, and then the Mercy dove after him or something, and it's just like, okay,
yeah,
we'll buy.
yeah.
It was fun, guys. We'll buy.
GG, everybody. I'm out. Peace. Yeah. So it can be definitely a little bit annoying. So just make sure that you're staying grouped up, and everybody will be just fine in normal mode. And then as you get progressively harder, it is progressively harder. That's just it.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. And there's 4 different difficulty levels, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Normal, hard, expert, and legendary.
All right. Cool. And have you cleared in legendary?
No, legendary is the only achievement I haven't gotten for that.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck on that. If you decide to.
Yeah,
do that
it's not going to happen because I fly out to DreamHack tomorrow. So
awesome. That'll be fun. That'll be a good time. All right.
I like Austin.
Tattva, how about you, bud? What's been going on in your gaming world? How's CTM going?
We're back on the horse again. It's good.
Hey!
We're 5 out of 10. We got Spellblade this past week. We're working on Tichondrius now. Hopefully he dies. We're hoping that it's a good possibility that we might be able to get Tichondrius and Botanist this week if everything goes to plan. Who knows? That's probably asking a lot on only 2 nights a week, but we got it, guys, right?
Aim
right?
high. Aim high.
Maybe.
Aim high. Anything else?
So that's going great.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I got Werebear.
Oh, that's right.
That's
Congratulations. I'm going to give you a big applause for that. That's good stuff right there.
See, I was on because I was on when you were spamming about that in guild chat.
You have no idea.
Picture, and you're obnoxious. You're the worst.
I am the worst. Like,
yeah.
No, I pester people until I make stuff happen. Everyone knows that. Like, that's another thing that's been going on lately. Like, I just randomly started doing Friday night, everyone invited normal runs of Nighthold.
Awesome.
And I spam the crap out of the CTR Discord, but oh well. What can you do? I want to fill all 30 spots. So yeah, if you ever need normal, if you have an alt, whatever, it doesn't really matter. We usually have at least enough people to carry. We've had sub 800 item level people in that group and stuff. So, I mean, we can't do it with everyone sub 800, but
sure.
Yeah. And so that's generally Friday nights. It's not like I've done it the past 2 weeks. I don't know if I'm going to turn it into a consistent thing, but there's a possibility.
Right. Well, I mean, let's face it. The Convert to Mythic guys have carried the Ermagerd offensive quite a few times. And we can't thank you enough for all the loot. It's been great.
We can't thank you enough for all the AP.
Right.
Tasty.
That tasty AP. Gizmo, now, other than Heroes 2.0, which I'm sure you have fully dived into at this point, even though it's hours old.
Yeah.
What else has been going on?
So actually, really the last 2 weeks, I kind of took a step back from Heroes. I hopped in the PTR every once in a while to test out some stuff. But I just wanted to kind of take a small break from it, getting ready for the launch. So I actually dove back into an old love of mine, and her name is Diablo 3.
Oh.
So I hopped into Season 10. My hardcore seasonal tune rolled a Barbarian. And I have never had such bad RNG in a season. It has been a rough road trying to get my set pieces. So it was last night, actually. I decided, I'm going to make a softcore tune, just kind of chill. Had a friend power level me real quick.
That sounds weird to me. It just sounds weird to me.
But
go ahead.
Softcore?
Go ahead.
Okay,
go ahead.
I got you.
Right.
But yeah, so I was just kind of hopping in a Torment 3 Rifts, and there was a guy in a group. I have a pet that's a little Diablo from like Diablo 2, and it's really cool looking. And a guy asked me, he's like, where'd you get that pet? And I was like, what? I don't know. Let me look it up real quick. It was from BlizzCon this last year. And he's like, oh, dang it. And I was like, actually, you know what? I think I might have a code laying around here. Let me check. Sure enough, I had forgotten I had it. And so I just gave it to him, and he flipped, and he's like, I'm going to get on my main and run you through greater ifs until the day I die.
Wow.
And we only did like 4. And within an hour and a half, I went from like level 70 Paragon level 10 on my Demon Hunter to Paragon level like 150 with my full 6 set.
Wow. And
went from Torment 1 to I'm soloing Torment 13 now. So I wish I had that luck on my hardcore tune, but it's been a fun 2 weeks in there. But, Heroes 2.0 is out, so it's time to dive back into that.
Very cool. Very, very cool. And I know that this week I got a puppy, so I've been on puppy duty. That's all I've been doing. Somebody's got to take care of the dog.
Duty, though.
But
somebody has to.
But if you follow me on Twitter, you can, or Facebook or whatever, you can see all the pics as they come down. I've been tweeting them out. That's all I got. Hey, a couple of quick things before we get into the news part of the show, and that is number one, we changed where the Minnesota mini meetup is going to be. So check our Facebook stuff, or check me out on Twitter, and I'll be tweeting about it as we get closer. But it's going to be in Roseville, Minnesota, which is just north of downtown. So just letting everybody know. We changed because there was going to be a big busload of people going to the place that we were going to go. Ugh. So changed it to a better venue. And another thing, our store, there's going to be a big sale starting Wednesday through Sunday. So if you're interested, go over to converttorate.com/store. That's all. And now it's time for the news. All right, Gizmo, get ready, because we're going to you. Because we're going to do something different today. Heroes of the Storm 2.0 is the big news of the week, we have determined. And a big round of applause for that. Because Heroes 2.0 has a lot of new things. And Gizmo, what's going on? What's going on with 2.0?
Just a little bit. Today
some changes.
Yeah. So Heroes 2.0 had been in the beta for a few weeks, and they had announced it was going to launch today on the 25th. Earlier today, they had their launch stream, where they kind of talked about Hanamura a little bit, talked about Genji a little bit. They did some showcase games. The first one that I watched was between Fnatic and why can't I ever think of Team Dignitas? And it was a really interesting thing because they had Dread and Kaldor cast it, but at the same time, Kent Eric and Alex Dabiri were there to answer questions from Kaldor and Dreadnought while they were casting. So you got some really interesting kind of thoughts on the way map mechanics work, what their thoughts were when the map was being created. And it was kind of a cool thing, but I got to be honest, as cool as it was, and I think a lot of people had this thought, we were just wanting the game to get over, because after that, they were going to show the new cinematic that they had been teasing, and it was called Hanamura Showdown.
Right.
And it was incredible. The Blizzard cinematic team is insane. It started out, it was pretty much Diablo versus Genji on the Hanamura map.
Right.
Looked incredible. And at the end of the cinematic, they gave the teaser for the new hero that's going to be coming into the game there that you can see. And it is, of course, D.Va.
Yeah! I like D.Va.
So, it's going to be interesting. I don't... this was kind of leaked again by the same guy that's been doing all the leaks, but Blizzard has gotten really good at throwing people off. So 2 days ago, I think on Twitter, they had made a post about, kind of teasing the new hero release, but it was just a picture, a short GIF of Hanamura, one of the big doors with 3 claw marks on it and then a growl. So everyone's thinking, okay, no. It's not D.Va. This is going to be, a dragon, or, maybe Deathwing Ysera, or perhaps a feral druid.
But it was just Diablo.
Tank.
It was just Diablo
scratched
the door.
Yes, it was just Diablo.
Yeah.
So it is going to be D.Va, which is it's cool. It's going to be, another warrior. It'll be interesting to see how her mechanics work. They didn't really get into it yet. I imagine she's going to be a little bit like Zarya as a ranged warrior. It'll be interesting to see if they, have her in heroes kind of in and out of the suit like they do in Overwatch. So I think this is probably going to be the most difficult hero to make the transition over to feel like the Overwatch hero. So it'll be cool to see if they pull that off.
Well, they could do something like what they did with Greymane, right? Couldn't they do something like that where it's kind of like 2 forms, kind of?
Yeah.
A little bit.
My guess is it's mostly going to be in her suit. But then, of course, one of the ultimates, I'm sure, will be the, I don't know what it's called.
Well, it's got to be the exploding.
Yeah.
thing.
And then it'll probably be 10, 15 seconds that you're now, in danger because you have to wait for that suit to respawn.
Right.
And I don't know if, there's going to be any, if she dies, if she's going to hop out of her suit and have a chance to get that back, that'll be a really interesting mechanic.
It seems like that could be a passive.
Yeah. I imagine that probably will be, which... It again is going to be interesting because having a tank that can die without dying is
kind of like Diablo.
Yeah. Very
Ish.
true. Very true. So yeah, that was just a really cool. It was about an hour, a little over an hour long. I snuck down to my car during lunch break to watch this thing, and my phone was dying because of all the tweets and Facebook stuff I was getting for my birthday. So like, oh crap, I got to go sit in my car in the heat in Florida. Thank goodness I have AC. But yeah, along with all that stuff they talked about today, the mega bundles is such a generous thing that they are doing. So if you log in to Heroes of the Storm, now that Heroes is 2.0 out, you're going to be given, I think it's like 100 gems, and you are going to have the choice to purchase one of 4 bundles for those gems. And that's like a flex bundle, an assassin bundle, a specialist support bundle, or a warrior bruiser bundle. And 20 heroes, that's like, the heroes range in prices, but that is, I imagine each bundle is well over $100 in heroes, or right around $100.
And there was some shared heroes among the different groups and different stuff like that. But the thing is that you can only get one of those groups. You can only get one of those groups and none of the other ones. As soon as you select, you're done.
So is there any way to get one of those other groups with maybe more currency later? Or is that it? Those are gone?
I think that's they may bring them back for a higher price. They haven't made any announcements for that. And it's also worth noting, typically when you buy a bundle, it's cheaper if you have some of the heroes or you get something back. That's not the case here, since this is just them giving it to you. You're only going to get the heroes that you don't have. If you have all the heroes, then this is really just to kind of get new people into the game.
Right. I had to go through and check out all the heroes that I was missing out of those groups. It was probably about half, somewhere around half of those. And so I was going through and I'm like, do I like that one? Would I play that one? I'm not sure. And I did that for every stupid hero. It took me 20 minutes to roll through the list. Crazy.
What'd you end up going with?
I went with I think it was the Flex.
Okay.
Flex.
Good choice.
So
if you guys are having trouble deciding which one to get, or if you've never played a MOBA and you're just getting in, there is actually a quiz on their website that'll ask you some questions. To help you kind of, tell you which type of player you may be. In all honesty, it's pretty obvious. What do you do in a team fight? Like to get in people's face and hit them, sit back and heal people? It's okay, obviously that's support.
I like to run away and hide. Is run away and hide an option? Soak XP.
Can you explain to me the difference between the two currencies? Because I can't figure that out yet.
The gems and the shards?
There's gold, and then there's...
Which they've had.
So there's 3.
Right. Oh, there's 3.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So with this new system, they have switched to the 3 currencies. Gold is the same thing it always was. You'll still earn that for playing games and completing quests, and you will be able to use that to purchase heroes or to re-roll loot boxes. You can pay to do that if you don't like what you got. Gems are the new real money currency that you just purchase the gems, then you can use gems to buy heroes or mounts, things like that. And then the shards are what you get either in loot boxes or if you get a dupe of something you currently have in the collections. And I think that ranges anywhere from 10 up to a legendary dupe is 400. So it's...
Wow.
And then I think to craft a legendary skin is 1,200 or 1,400. So it's a little pricey, but it's a really cool system. I'm interested kind of to see, I don't know how many loot boxes you open, Dairies, but for a person like me, I have all the heroes. So when I was getting stuff in loot boxes that I didn't have, it was kind of neat. But I have heard from some people who don't have a lot of the heroes and had just some bad RNG when they were opening their boxes and got a whole bunch of cool skins for heroes they don't have.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Now,
that's not...
That happened to me.
Most of them, a lot of those people went and then bought those heroes, which is exactly what Blizzard wants you to do.
Right.
And it's good marketing. But I unlocked a lot of heroes in the loot boxes as I was opening them.
So you can get heroes in loot boxes, not just skins, but you can actually get a hero. Are they only in the, because there's 2 types of loot boxes as well, or at least 2.
3.
Yeah. 3. There was 3 for.
How many? First of all, Gizmo, how many loot boxes did you get? Because
I had 68 out of the 70 you could get, I believe.
Wow.
So yeah, I streamed all my
and what level did you end up being?
Player level was
because player level is now based on character levels, like additive, right? And so what were you at?
548, which that's high, but not as high as some people. Like my co-host TBK is at like 790.
Oof. Wow.
But he rotates around and kind of gives heroes equal love. Sure. I get heroes to level 5, and then I play, my 2 or 3 heroes that I play during the season until the next season rolls around. So
gotcha.
It was a little bit harder for me to level up. But yeah, so you're going to get those loot boxes. You continue to get those each time you level up. There's overall progression. I think it's like every 25 or 50 levels you get an epic box that's guaranteed to have at least an epic item. So there's plenty of loot box opening. It's easier to level up, I think.
Can you get heroes in any type of box?
Yeah, you can get legendaries in a common box.
Yep. Okay. So, and the shards for getting dupes are only used to craft more items, right?
Correct. Yeah. Anything in the store except heroes.
So much.
You can do it. And there is a ton. And I know, Pat, you were talking about it. Are you a little overwhelmed by the collections area?
It's kind of weird though, because the UI changed a lot because of all the changes due to everything in the game, right? So I mean, it's just there's a lot to take in, and it takes a little bit of time to go through and say, okay, oh, this is for that. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out what I have, and it's just you just kind of like sigh a lot. I feel like Dairies. I'm just
have
sighing
to click on
all
that.
The time.
You just have to hit that drop down that says just owned. Just to exclude everything else. Just click on the owned.
That.
Right.
And you're good.
There is that. But then going through and doing it, because they have a new section where essentially you're picking your hero, their skin, the mount, the blah blah blah, and it looks different. So it's kind of just adjusting to that. And it was just kind of like my first glance at it. I didn't really have time to get in and play all that much today, but just kind of looking at the UI, there's a lot going on there. So
yeah, the biggest complaint I would have would be the loadout area for your characters, because they added in so many mounts, like especially of the regular pleb horses and stuff. They added in different colors.
Yeah.
And so it's split up between like horses, beasts, mechanical, and magical. And there's so many in such a small area. It really is kind of hard to find. So I almost feel like they need to separate it into, okay, you click the horse if you're wanting a horse, and then it brings up the skins on a separate thing, just the different skin tints, because having to scroll through all of those right now, there's a lot. So it is a little messy. And I know, Dairies, you were talking as, I didn't have this experience because I follow heroes enough to where I am reading the patch notes and I am up to date on the latest news. So it hadn't even crossed my mind. I'm going into Heroes 2.0. I know what all this stuff is. I know what to expect. But the fact that they may not have explained this very well for either people who just play it casually or brand new people coming into the game, because you just open up these loot crates and, like you said, there's a banner and spray and
I had no idea. I was like, what is a spray? Is this good? What's an emote? Like, I didn't even know the game had emotes or banners. And for a long time, I was like, I don't even know, like, I equipped a banner, but I was like, how do I use the banner? Like, where does it show up? Until I realized that it showed up when I killed a tower. And I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah. So, we'll see if they add some more in, as far as kind of explaining that stuff. I kind of hope they do at this point, because that definitely could be overwhelming for a new player to come in now that they're making this push to get some new people open.
And it really does kind of look, I mean, from a UI perspective and from all the new stuff, it really is Heroes of the Storm 2.0. And and because it's 2.0, because it is so very 2.0. I think you're right. I think they need to go back and take a look at the videos that they've done and make sure that they have some really solid, not necessarily how-tos, but just what stuff is, and make sure that everybody can kind of be on the same page. Because it's a little overwhelming. I know that I was going through the loot boxes and stuff like that, and I was the same way, Dairies. I was exactly saying, I don't know if this is any good, but I'm just gonna go with it because I don't want to spend things on changing it.
Yeah.
So who cares?
It was like Christmas.
It was
for me. I was so excited.
So Tattva, how many boxes did you open on?
I was like level
Heroes Day.
358 or something.
Wow. Nice.
So I got 3 epics or 3 legendary chests, and then however many
very cool
normal ones. But I'm not very RNG friendly, so I got some good love. I got the Murky Announcer skin, or Murky Announcer voice pack or whatever. So I'm excited about that. So
I got
just an intelligible fish yelling at me the whole game. It's gonna be great.
I got this one.
Which doctor? This doctor.
I got that one for the announcer. So,
but yeah, that's
pretty cool.
It was a lot of fun though, because I get home from work, and then on Tuesdays, my first thing is I have to go check my Mythic cache in hopes that there's something good in there.
Right.
And then it's just like every other week, it's just massive disappointment. And then I'm just like, oh yes, I get to open more boxes. And then so I logged on to Heroes and spent like the next 2 hours wandering around like all the menus and stuff. Yeah, it is kind of crazy, but it's a lot of fun. There's so much new stuff, and it's like I love the new progression system and how you can work towards these things now instead of just having to buy them. I mean,
sure,
a lot of people will just buy them because it's the easier way to get things. And like, if you have a favorite hero that you play a lot and a favorite skin of that person, like Pajamather, you bought that, right, Pat?
No, I'm almost there.
Come on,
I'm almost there.
Pajamather.
I know, that's one of my favorites.
I got Pajamather 3 times in my loot chests.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn it.
But again, I got the shards for him, so I was able to craft stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One other thing that kind of goes along well with, I think, showing that Heroes is making this is their big push to get new players in. They're also doing, it's called the Try Hard for Good. And this is where they have, I believe it's 3 top streamers pairing up with coaches from Heroes of the Storm. It just so happens to be all 3 of those streamers are ex-professional League of Legends players.
It was Skara today, huh?
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
And yes, and I believe he's being coached by Dunk Train.
Yeah.
So they're allowing them to be coached. I think it's for like a couple weeks here, and then it's going to be a competition to see between which 3 of those, and they're going to stream it all. Who can climb the highest in Hero League on the ladder? So that is going to get a lot of people who watch their streams who play League of Legends to come over. Oh, and hey, if you do come over, you get 20 heroes for free. Right. So that's a pretty nice incentive there. And I think it's genius on their part. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens here in the next few months.
That seems a little aggressive, doesn't it?
It's very aggressive. But
not
hey,
beating around the bush there.
I like it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're wanting to compete with the big dogs, League of Legends and Dota, you had to make a move, and this is, I think, their first move. So,
right.
Very interesting.
I wonder if it'll move the needle at all. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it will a little. I don't think this is going to make it, overtake either of those by any means, but it's definitely a step in the right direction.
Right.
The other thing they announced kind of towards the end of the stream here is the new Nexus Challenge. For 4 weeks in a row, this is going to be going on. This is another confusing thing. So they're going to 4 weeks. First week, or each week, you're going to play 5 events or 5 games with a friend to complete the quest. And for each week, they're going to have different rewards that you get. I don't remember all of those off the top of my head, but it'll be rewards for both Overwatch and Heroes. such as skins, portraits, mounts. The confusing thing here is if you don't complete week 1, that doesn't mean you can't do it anymore. Say you fall 2 weeks behind, so week 3 you're just getting started. If you play your first 5 games, you'll get the week 1 rewards, second 5 week 2, and then third week 3. So you could technically wait till the 4th week and crush out all 20 games. Another nice little crossover promotion that they're doing there.
I see how it goes. Of course, well, you got to play with your friends, right? That's their whole deal.
It's a good play with friends.
So now, okay, you said this in chat, and I'm just gonna bring it up for those guys that don't know what the H is going on here. But the spray thing, you brought this up. You said to spray, it's just like in Overwatch where you hit T, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you said, or X brings up a radial menu. Is the radial menu like Overwatch?
Yes. So it's much smaller, much smaller because you don't want to take up your screen.
Sure.
But the X is going to have your voice line that you can unlock those, dance, spray, and taunt.
Fancy.
I see.
And there's also hotkeys for those as well. I don't know what those are.
Sure.
I just use C in the X menu because they're close to my fingers.
Right. But that's neat.
Mine were set to something like I had nothing set to spray, so I had to set that, and then for whatever reason, dance was set to like numpad 0, and I don't know what was going on. So I had to go into the keypad thing and actually find them.
Good old numpad 0.
I don't know what happened there.
Anything else for Heroes 2.0 that we should know?
Man, just again, and I know I say this a lot, and MOBAs are not for everyone. But if you've tried League, Dota, those games, and they just weren't for you, I definitely suggest hopping in there, giving this a shot. I was awful at those games. I didn't like them. It's just a whole nother beast, and there's no better time to get into it. Like I said, 20 free heroes. That's like $100 in free stuff that they're just giving out.
That's pretty good
to try and get people into the game. And they do constant rewards all the time. So give it a shot. And if you guys are needing help, we're expecting a lot of new players to start in. So on Lords of the Storm and stuff, we're probably going to be getting into a lot more basic strategy, map strategy and stuff. Hanamura is a very difficult map. So we're going to be looking to dissect that within the next few weeks to kind of get some strategy on there because it is very, very tough.
All right.
Different.
Yes. Different. Very 2.0. As said before. All right. Let's move on then and go resume our normal show and go back to World of Warcraft.
A clever strategy.
Yes. So this week we don't have a lot going on in World of Warcraft, which is why, again, why we're starting with 2.0. It's way bigger. But there were a couple of kind of things that were announced or provided to us this week. And one was, let's see. Let's do this one. Okay, so on Thursday, there is going to be another developer Q&A with Ian Hazzikostas, game director. The guy that we all like to hear all the things that he says, and he says a lot. So he's going to be answering all of your questions about 7.2. One of the things that I really liked was the post that I saw on the website said that comments were turned off.
Yeah.
and then I read, oh, here's the link to the forums, but I just thought it was funny that the comments were turned off over there. How dare you, 7.2, blah, blah, internet trolls. So my question to you guys is, if you had a question to ask Ian Hazzikostas, what would it be? What might it be if you have a question? Tattva, do you have a question?
I'm not sure about a question. Like, as far as like 7.2 goes, I know a lot of people are up in arms about the content and all that kind of stuff and questioning it being the biggest patch of all time and all whatever.
Sure.
But I mean, the thing is that It is.
Yeah.
But it's a slow roll. Like, I mean, prior to 7.2 coming out, people were freaking out that it was too much, too soon. No, not yet. Get it out of here type situation. But now that it's out and, it's a slow cook, like each week they're progressing the quest chain, leading up to Tomb. Flying was a slow process. They slowly released the opportunity to get to that.
Actually, my question is, why did they take away the demon invasions from the flying requirement? Because I think that would have been, even though the new demon invasions were inconvenient for a lot of folks, I think that they could have just kind of said, you know what, just let it go like a week or two. It's a slow roll, Like
the RNG you'll get there, you'll get them all and stuff. But I mean, that's like, there was a lot of rage in regards to that. But the thing is why would the Legion plan their attacks around your schedule? They don't want you to defend. Come on, back off. They're being smart about it.
Right.
Anyways, silly people. But I mean, I understand, because like a lot of those things offer a ton of AP, ton of rewards, all that kind of stuff. And so I understand people feeling left out, and it's only a 6-hour window, and sometimes they spawn at 2:30 in the morning. Like, you have to be kind of have a screw loose or two, like old Raider with this dumpster Dan who'd set his alarm for that kind of stuff. But yeah. Anyways, but that's a whole different level. But that's burnout mode level.
So you would have no questions for Ian about 7.2.
I would say my only question would be, why nerf any of the Mage Tower challenges? Like, I understand some of them were extremely difficult. Some of them were more difficult than others. Like, I had to experience the tank one. Tank one was a pain, but it also got nerfed twice before I was able to complete it. And so realistically, I shouldn't have completed it. This is a challenge that's going to wait and slowly over time get nerfed. Like, Tomb's going to get released. You're going to get better gear, and you will be able to do it eventually. Like, some people were able to achieve it, and that's awesome. They should be able to flaunt that forever until Tomb comes out and people can start catching them, or spend the time to actually figure out how to do these challenges and stuff. I mean, of course, one side of it is a gear thing, but I personally have never done a more difficult thing in WoW ever than that tank challenge. Like, it was like 350 attempts or something. I spent like 12 hours on Saturday doing it, like all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it was just, I mean, it was a lot of fun. Like, and it made me think, like, I know tanking challenges is a rough thing, and a lot of tanks are complaining that it's just a DPS check and all that kind of stuff. But DPS is part of tanking. But it also, like, from my perspective, it never, like, I've never felt I've been pushed tanking so far, keeping track of so many different things, making sure you're not getting knocked off, watching these eyeballs, while doing damage, protecting Velen because he's a noob and he heals too much and gets owned by the little ads. And, there was a lot going on, a lot of cooldown management, a lot, it was a very well done encounter to cover 6 very different tank classes. And I mean, that's the only one I experienced, but like, I mean, just talking with people, talking with raiders on the team and things, like, it's just cool to hear the stories and how hard it was for people, or how they owned it.
Right.
It's a really cool thing, but I just wish that they would have stuck to their guns a little bit more. Like, I would have been frustrated beyond belief, because I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have been able to do it because my gear wasn't up there. But
well, I don't know
stick to your guns.
I don't know that they ever said that. I think the plan, from my memory anyway, was that Ian said, we plan on nerfing this over time. I don't know if it was necessarily as quickly as it has been nerfed and may continue to be nerfed, but he said either through gear or, at some point we're gonna have to probably lower our bar a little bit so that people can get through. But, at least initially it was at that mythic level raider difficulty level, and so that was good. And I went into it, I think I did it 3 times over the last however long it's been out, and and every time I'm like going, I don't really like the artifact look. Why am I don't necessarily get it, but
where mine
see, now if it was the
necessitates
werebear
350 attempts because I wanted that thing so badly.
But the werebear is cool. That one is so cool. That one's totally rad. And for my artifact weapon, I have it transmogged because I'm not into it. So so I don't care about the new looks or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'll try it and I'll go, oh, I lost. All right, I'll try it later. Bye.
But yeah, Dairies, werebear is worth freaking out over.
Whatever.
And spamming guild chat like crazy.
What?
Werebear.
You should have come and took a picture with me, man.
No, I was spamming no in guild chat.
Whatever.
Whatever. Missed that because you were too busy spamming.
But yeah, so I guess that would be my question is, like, just...
You know what?
I like the elite status of things.
Yes.
Like I mean, even back in the shows ages ago when we were talking about Legion coming out and talking about these legendaries and all this stuff, like I always took the stance that I hope they're super rare. I mean, you have people now with 20 plus legendaries on their characters and things, and it's just like, I mean, it's still awesome, but I don't know. I like rarity. I like people being able to flaunt stuff and show off. And
it is good.
These challenges were kind of a cool way of doing that. I just wish they would have.
I just wish it was more like Green Fire. If it was more like Green Fire, where like I could heal in red, or what? I mean, whatever. Who cares? Whatever the thing is, I want that thing. I don't necessarily want the artifact weapon, although it's cool for especially for the werebear. But I just want something.
Druid's got
reward.
The Guardian and Feral got a lot of love this expansion. Gotta say,
Well, but
good
to a certain extent, they had been ignored for a long time.
A real long time.
So I mean, you can't. I mean, the best thing that happened to Feral was Cataclysm, when trolls could be the new kitty cat. So because that was awesome. It was a new look.
That was awesome.
All right. Anybody else have a question for Ian? If they were to, Gizmo, do you have a question for Ian?
I don't have a question, and it's kind of interesting from the discussion we just had from Heroes. So this is kind of, I love Q&As first and foremost, just because one, there's a ton of information on them. But in my case with WoW now, since I took a step back from Convert to Mythic and stopped doing Mythic raiding, and now have kind of switched into the more casual player, these Q&As are almost more interesting to me because I, at this point, don't feel the pressure of having too much to do, don't really feel the slow rollout because I'm not just grinding things. So it's interesting to see how that's affecting other people and kind of what their plan is going to be for those people, and also for people like me who are just kind of slow rolling through it, enjoying the content. So I'm looking forward for it.
Sure. You're also sounding a little low there. I don't know exactly what's going on. Maybe it's
really quiet.
Maybe it's Skype or something like that. But I don't know. I guess happy birthday to you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is your mic pointed differently?
No,
he hasn't done anything different. I noticed something happening before. Anyway, it's a little thing. Don't worry about it. Dairies, would you have a question? Would you say, what are things?
I want to know if Ian Hazakostas will ever grow a beard now that Tattva doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are the hard questions.
Actually, he should grow a goatee, and then he would be the evil Ian Hazakostas. He would be the evil doppelganger to Ian Hazakostas. So that'd be good. The other thing that happened in WoW this week was that there was an Anduin Rin cinematic that came out that was data mined, and
oh my God,
and it's cool. I like it. It's really neat, and it says a lot. There's a little hidden quest, right, where you find a thing, and you go and you bring it to him, and then this cinematic plays, and it's very heartfelt, right? Tattva, I'll throw it to you.
I mean, when Giz is sitting there talking about the Hanamura cinematic, like, Like I watched that so many times a day, and I mean Anduin's watched that so many times. Like I'm glad someone loaded it on YouTube, like basically right after I watched it for the first time.
Right.
But their team is just amazing, and like, I mean, I like don't lynch me or anything, but I was like Horde for 10 years.
Yeah.
Until coming to CTR. So
we started out as Horde. Really?
Anduin Schmanduin. I didn't care.
Right.
Like, but by the end of the cinematic, I did. Oh.
Anduin was a little punk. He was just a little punk kid, years ago. And nobody cared about him, and he had a different haircut and all that kind of stuff.
Well, in MoP, he started taking more prominent role. And he started getting cool because he was just like, hey, like, he was like the new Thrall almost. Like Thrall kind of stepped to the side and Anduin came in just like, hey, peace, guys. Like, we're all good. Don't worry about it. Hey, Dad, you're a little angry. Calm it down. Go dose yourself or something. Come on.
Wow.
We can be friends. We can be friends. And so it's cool to see him taking a prominent role and then also kind of get a little angsty, Yeah. He's going to bring some pain, I think. Like there's going to be some of his daddy showing up in him.
Right. And I have some hope as well. I think you're right. I think you're right on the money. I saw that cinematic and I was like going, you know what? So he's making a turn right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be kind of interesting to see.
I did this quest line earlier in the week and all I could think of the entire time was, oh my God, you're such an emo little kid. Can we get on with this?
See, now but he's been growing his hair out, so
that's what it is.
He's
got
that
crying and the my dad's dead. Whatever. No, I did it, and it was just frustrating because it's a lot of like, hurry up and get to this location, and now I'm gonna walk slowly and talk for 5 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm just like waiting for the emo music to come on, and
they had to build it up.
Yeah. You got to do it.
Build it up. That final look. Oh, Anduin's pissed.
Oh.
Anduin's pissed.
Oh, he's making the turn, fellas.
He's going to be the next Lich King. We all know it.
No, I like...
Probably.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, even in chat right now, they're talking about it. But even on the raid team last raid...
He's re-rolling Rhett Pally.
No, yeah, that came up. And that's... Because, I mean, that's the thing, is he's basically a priest, holy priest. Good little boy, but I mean, without spoilers or anything, I mean that, like he's turning into a holy warrior, which is a paladin. So it'll be interesting to see what he turns it, like if that's the route he takes. It'd be kind of cool to see him re-roll his class a little bit coming up. Be sweet.
That would be kind of interesting. And I know that there was an outbreak on the forums saying, but wait, where's the Horde video that goes along with this? Aren't you supposed to do, one for the other? And they said, yeah, no, we already did that. It's called the Sylvanas War Chief video that happened before when Vol'jin croaked. So just calm down, everybody. This is actually, we're giving the Alliance seconds on this. so just calm down. It's fine. It's totally fine.
I just really enjoy their, like, Blizzard has always been excellent storytellers, and it's just cool to see the rate at which they're moving stories forward.
Well,
in between all of their IPs. Like, it's just excellent. Right. The use of cinematics, interactive quest lines, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be cool.
You can say, I mean, you can always give credit to the cinematics team or whatever, but there is so much story that goes behind that. And I know Dave Kosak isn't there anymore, but I mean, he helped build up a story and it's being continued throughout World of Warcraft. And it's just amazing to see how those different parts come together. And make a really strong story in all sorts of different ways. So it's cool. Anything else for World of Warcraft that you guys want to talk about? Because that's all I got. That's the only thing that I've seen over this last week that that needs some explaining, some talking about. So why don't we go to Overwatch?
You won't get rid of me that easily.
Nope, you won't. So Dairies, since you play Overwatch a lot, maybe you know something that happened this week in the forums with Jeff Kaplan. He announced some things, right?
Yeah, he mentioned he talked about maps. So there are currently 6 maps being developed or that they're working on. That could be anywhere. They're at least past, I think he said, like play testing, but it could mean anything. I hope that they get maps into play testing and they try them and they throw them out quite a bit. But 3 of them are going to be standard maps, is what he called them, quick play and comp mode. So they'll just be normal maps like they have. But he also said that 3 are going to be non-standard maps. So they won't go into quick play and they won't go in comp, which is exciting because that could be, it could be maybe a PvE kind of map.
Like a Junkenstein.
Yeah.
Like
or the Uprising, but not set, in King's Row or not set in Eichenwald or something like that. It could be something just fun and crazy that they're working on. I like this. He doesn't really say much. He says that and he mentions that they have a few other experiments going on. But I like this. I like that Blizzard is trying things. And for the most part, they're hitting it out of the park on all of them. So I'm excited to see what comes of this. And, it's early in the year, so I could be waiting a long time and some of this could never come out, but it's still fun to think about. And I'm glad that, they've got plans to add potentially 6 maps this year.
Right. And the cool thing is when you talk about the non-competitive maps or whatever, you think, well, that would probably mean, to me anyway, that would mean that it's either going to represent a hero that already exists or possibly getting a new hero, which would be kind of cool as well. So
they did say that they think they're releasing heroes too quickly. So we might only see 1 new hero this year. And maybe one of these maps is for that hero. It would be kind of cool to see maybe a Heroes of the Storm map in Overwatch or a Heroes of the Storm themed map, crossover going the other direction. That would be kind of cool.
Like mines.
They could go anywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Gizmo, what would be a good heroes map that would transfer over to Overwatch?
I think Hanamura would transfer over pretty well.
Yeah, that would probably be. That is the correct answer. That is the correct answer.
Yeah, dipstick.
I don't know because Heroes of the Storm is the Nexus, so it's everything combined.
You're going the wrong way. You can't escape a black hole.
Spider Queen.
I don't know.
Where you have to. Yeah. No.
But that has what's the Indiana Jones guy?
Right.
In it, so that's technically could be a Warcraft thing.
Yeah. All right. The other thing that is going on is happening in StarCraft 2, actually.
I can dig that.
And it's a new co-op mode that was announced today, actually, with Phoenix. Phoenix is well, actually, Tattva, do you know a little bit about this? I know that you play some StarCraft every once in a while.
Yeah, I need to get over myself a little bit. I used to play. No, man. It's devastating. No, listen. Listen
to my story, everybody.
No, it's horrible because me and a bunch of friends, old raiders and stuff, used to play tons of StarCraft. Extremely fun game. Extremely high skill cap. It's a fairly daunting game. Anyways, but the last expansion came out. Always play through the campaign. Love the story. Love the cinematics. Love it all. But I made it through the 3rd level, I think, of the campaign. This last one. And it's been long enough. But Zeratul dies, and I was devastated, and I stopped. That was it. Nope. Not playing this game anymore.
Zeratul dies? Ah!
Hey, Artanis has his blade in Heroes of the Storm now.
Yeah. No, it was watching that cinematic, like I literally turned the game off after that happened. I thoroughly enjoyed the cinematic because the animations are awesome, of course. And then I just went, boop, and did not turn it back on again.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, it's a great game, and I love what they've done. Like, there's just too much to play right now. Like,
there is
between Overwatch and HOTS. Like HOTS and WoW are my two babies right now. With Overwatch being the dirty little stepchild. But anyways, but yeah, StarCraft needs to get some love soon, and like the whole co-op play, being able to play with a friend and go through the campaign and stuff. That's basically what they're doing, is unleashing a new commander for that, and so a different type of character to play. And he's from the Protoss, a certain faction called the Purifiers, and the way the Protoss work is they're able to keep moving their spirit into new shells and all that kind of stuff. And so they really wanted to showcase that by enabling different options for him while you're playing the game. So depending on the situation, you'll be able to inhabit different shells that will be better at different things, you know, that challenges you face and stuff. And so sounds like a lot of fun, but yeah, it's just, there's not a release date yet, is there?
No.
Or is it out?
No, there's not it's not out yet. It's for patch 3.13, and it will be available for $5. So
$5.
You can get that and go do the new co-op stuff. I like that they're doing the co-op stuff as well. So
yeah, it's actually really interesting. One, Phoenix is a pretty beloved character from what I understand in the StarCraft universe. But he was also rumored before not Genji, Cassia came out to be the next hero in Heroes of the Storm. And he was not. But they obviously, now that they're doing the new co-op commander, and if you were watching the video, if you guys are watching the VOD of this, he does have abilities and things that could easily be transitioned over to Heroes. So it'll be interesting to see if he hops over there. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about these co-ops. They're nice, you know, for a $5 thing. It's like buying a hero in Heroes of the Storm. So always good things there. I'm actually looking forward to, now that StarCraft 1 Brood War is free, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing.
Hopping into that because I've had a couple friends who tried playing StarCraft 1 again, and it's a pretty unforgiving game from what I hear, and I am awful at RTS. So we'll see how.
Oh yeah,
right on. Okay. Anything else for StarCraft 2? I think that kind of covers it. And you know, we'll monitor the situation as always. But for now, let's get into some esports.
Turned up to 11.
Okay. That sounds good. Gizmo, what happened in esports this last week?
Yep, so it was HGC week 7 of league play here coming up. And actually, the past 2 weeks have been pretty interesting here as far as, you know, matchups not necessarily going the way you think. Last week, Navintic looked really good in their first game against, I believe it was B-Step. And then they looked awful. And now you have this week, No Tomorrow, which is the last place team, came and beat Gale Force eSports.
Wow.
So kind of some mix-ups going here. We did have that long break, so obviously these teams had plenty of time to kind of take a step back, look at their strategies, their compositions, work on some new hero pools. And, you know, No Tomorrow and Navintic are kind of fighting to get out of those bottom 2 spots to avoid going into the Crucible and potentially losing their HGC spots. So they're obviously making that push for it, and we'll see if they're able to claw their way out. But B-Step is looking like they potentially could fall into one of those spots, along with Superstars and Team Freedom. So those are kind of the 5 teams to watch as far as keeping their position. But other than that, of course, Gale Force Esports, Team 8, and Tempo Storm are still looking pretty solid in those top 3 spots.
All right. Sounds good. Anything else for esports, fellas? All right. Then I will play the happy music that Derry likes so much, and we will get the heck out of here. So, guys, tell me what's going on this week. You got anything big going on? Dairies, anything big going on?
I'm going to Austin for DreamHack.
That's right.
So yeah, I'll be there. If any of you guys are there, come look for me.
Awesome.
I'll be the one that looks like me.
Right.
So easy to find.
You won't be wearing a disguise or anything like that. That's good.
No, not this time.
Tattva, how about you? Anything huge going on for you?
Just excited to take Tyke down in Botanist.
Right on.
As far as like just a little shout out, give Shark some love, whatever. But me and a couple guys or some boys from the CTM team are probably going to be putting together a HOTS team for his little tournament that he's throwing.
Oh, that's right.
You can go sign up at the Gathering Storm.
It's
tournament? Or just
Gathering Storm Tournament. No, just gatheringstormtournament.com. You can go sign up your teams, and you can select the community that you want to represent. There are going to be 4 different communities. Convert to Raid and Lords of the Storm have teamed up for one community, and then we have Frog Pants, and we have A Move, and what's the other one?
Geekly Incorporated.
Geekly Incorporated. Geekly Inc. So you can sign up for one of those communities and join in on the fun. It's just get five guys together and go, kind of a thing.
And,
it was a really, really cool thing of Shark to kind of be the catalyst for. Like, a lot of work's going to go into it and stuff. And so, like, if you're a fairly casual HOTS player, just come, just sign up, have some fun. The CTM team's going to get stomped. I'm going to make sure that we're way too aggressive and just kill ourselves over and over again. Like, YOLO, just go for it. But just help support. Like, people put a lot of work into these things, and Shark's done a lot. And a lot of moving parts, a lot of communities to talk to.
It's kind of weird that Shark was the one spearheading this. Because he's the goofball. He's the one that probably nobody would expect it, but he's like, nope, I want to do it. Let's do it. And he's put it all together, and he's really been pushing the rock up the hill, right?
Yep. So, he's jumping back into. Oh, and he's also starting the Asparagus Initiative back up. So that's if you're looking for a raid team that's going to be
a
high-end heroic-y, maybe low mythic-y. Thursdays, Sundays.
Team. Yeah. Thursdays and Sundays, and you can go to convertraid.com/teams, I think, right? Oh, guild.convertraid.com/teams. I don't know. Whatever. You can find the signups for the Asparagus Initiative over there.
And I'm also going to be growing my beard out this week, so that will be that.
You decided you had enough already?
Mistakes were made. I'm like 14 again.
It was so funny. He's like, I think I'm going to shave before the show. All right.
I go through that like once every few months. There was literally a night we were raiding. We went on break. And I just went and shaved my face, and I was like, "What have I done?"
Right. That's
always
funny.
an awful.
That's funny. Gizmo, how about you? Anything big going on this week, other than playing 2.0?
A lot of 2.0 coming up here. Of course, Lords of the Storm will be tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Central at twitch.tv/Lords of the Storm. You can catch that anywhere you listen to podcasts. We also actually have our tournament coming up here. Oh, man, I should have had this. May 7th, I believe. We'll have the information on our Twitter. You can go sign up. Again, that's Lords of the Lane. It's a 2v2 tournament.
Oh, nice.
Which is really interesting. We'll have more information. Go check out the show. It's really in-depth over there. I will also say, the Gathering Storm, if you're looking for a team, at the very bottom of that webpage, there's a link to that Discord over there, where there's channels where you can kind of put yourself out there to try and find a team. So, because finding 5 people can be hard.
It can be. Or
4 people.
All right. So let's see. I'm gonna bail out of this music, and I'm gonna play that music. There we go. But
you're just gonna bail on it?
Yes. Just gonna bail on it. And if you guys want to follow any of these guys on Twitter, let me tell you, we got @BoredMind for Dairies. We've got @LOS_gaming for Tattva and Tovo for that matter. And @GizmoZord for GizmoZord. And I'm at Pat Crane with a K. If you want puppy pictures, look out. And you can always join the conversation for Convert to Raid at any time. You can email us, converttoraid@gmail.com. You can call and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. And you can join the Bazuba Nation by heading over to converttoraid.com, where we have show downloads, Discord infos, videos, audios, and other things that end in O's. And all stuff guild related as well. It's all over at converttoraid.com. We're on iTunes, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and other internet stops along the way, I'm sure. Probably. It's the internet. We're everywhere. Convert to Raid is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends. Please do over at the Signals Media All-Star Network at signalsmedia.com. It's a lot of words, fellas. Ooh. I think I'm done for the night. That's going to be it for the show. But thank you, fellas, for joining. Thank you, chat room, as always. And thank you, no matter where you are. Thank you for listening to this show all the way to the end, as you always do, I'm sure. And for all the guys...
What? I fell asleep.
For all the guys that Convert to Raid, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for the show, Dairies.
No!
Thanks, Dairies.